Oke. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Good morning. How are you all today?
Thank you. I'm
Thank
I'm
fine.
fine.
you.
Thank you, Ki. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. We are from Group 1. Now, we are going to present our material about the shoe modification article. The title is The Efficacy of Shoes Modification and Orthotics in Hallux Valgus Deformity, a comprehensive review of literature. But before we come to the presentation session, let me introduce me and my friend. My name is Saskia Citra Priyandi, and I'm going to be moderator and the first speaker. And here is my friend. Her name is Anini Zahra Ramadhani, Ikra, Laili Musdalifah Susanto, Salwa Fatihah, and Mario Rafael. Alright, I think that's enough about the introduction session. Let's come to the next session. This is the content. Alright, because I am the first speaker, I will begin our presentation. Alright, the first one is the introduction. Hallux valgus is a common foot deformity affecting about 23% of adults and 35.7% of people over 65. It is more common in women due to factors like footwear choices and weaker ligaments. Hallux valgus is characterized by pronation, inward rotation, and hypermobility exercise movement of the first metatarsal bone. This leads to joint misligament in the first metatarsophalangeal joint, causing pain and discomfort. The severity of hallux valgus is measured using two key angles. The first one is hallux valgus angle. If greater than 15 degree, it is considered abnormal. And the intermetatarsal angle, if greater than 9 degree, it is considered pathological. Next slide, please. All right. The conservative treatment, there are non-surgical methods to reduce hallux valgus symptoms, including footwear modification, this is a wearing wider, more comfortable shoes, and the orthotic device insole designed to provide foot support. However, there is still debate about whether these methods can prevent the condition from worsening. This study review exciting literature to evaluate the role of footwear and orthotics in managing hallux valgus. Next slide, please. All right, the causes of hallux valgus. Several factors contribute to hallux valgus, including the first one is genetics. A family history of hallux valgus increase the risk. And the two are the poor of foot mechanics. Issues like excessive pronation, inward foot rolling can contribute to the condition. And the last one is the arthritis. The joint inflammation and degradation may also lead to deformity. Additionally, wearing tight shoes or high heels significantly increase the risk of hallux valgus. Studies show that hallux valgus is less common in population that do not wear restrictive footwear. A gender difference also play a role. Women generally have a rounder and smaller first metatarsal head, making their joint less stable and more prone to developing hallux valgus. Okay, the next presenter will be continued by Salwa.
Okay, Saskia, thank you for the opportunity. Pathophysiology. Where occurs the hallux valgus? Hallux valgus happens when there are imbalance between the muscle and ligament in the foot. The first metatarsal big two bones, they aligned due to the tension from the abductor hallucis muscle on the inside and the peroneus muscle on the outside. Excess pressure on the first metatarsal leads to its inward and upward shift, worsening the angle of the big toe during walking. This movement reaches and tears the ligament and tissue on the inside of the foot, exacerbating the deformity as outside muscle and ligament take over. Okay, the next slide will be by Andini Zahra.
Hey, thank you, Salwa. Now I will explain about signs and symptoms. First is the proximal phalanx pronates and deviates laterally. Second is a chronic onset of deep pain at the first metatarsal phalangeal joint. Third, the frequency, duration, and severity of the pain is gradually increasing. But there are also other symptoms such as ulcer, blisters, and irritated skin adjacent to the deformity. Next slide, please. Next is clinical evaluation. First is history taking. A clear medical history is essential to assess symptoms, progression, and contributing factor. Second is physical examination. Begins with observation of gait to identify areas of pain deformity. Assessment of the hind foot and ankle is essential. Evaluation structure of the foot. First is severity of hallux valgus and presence of pes planus or pes capus. Third is range of motion test. Of first the ankle, subtalar joint, and metatarsophalangeal joint. Limited range of motion at the first metatarsophalangeal joint indicates degenerative change and help differentiate hallux valgus from hallux rigidus. And next will be present by Ikra.
Okay, thank you, Andini. I will explain about imaging. Anterior, posterior, and lateral weight bearing X-ray of the entire foot are recommended for diagnostics and angle measurements to determine the extent of the deformity. Furthermore, under conditions such as instability, joints degeneration, and misalignment of other foot joints are also evaluated. On load bearing, anterior posterior X-ray, specific angles such as hallux valgus and intermetatarsal angle have been determined to quantify and understand deformities. The hallux valgus angle is another angle that can be evaluated from between the metaphyseal and diaphyseal axis of the proximal phalanx and has an upper limit of 10 degrees. Okay, the next slide will be Mario.
Okay, thank you, Ikra. Now I will explain the treatment and management for hallux valgus deformity. The first is footwear modification. Wear wide toe box shoes to avoid high heels and tight footwear. Second is orthotics and padding. Use custom insoles, bunion pads, or the toe spacers for pressure relief. Third is physical therapy and exercise. Strengthening and stretching exercise for foot muscles. Fourth is pain management. NSH, ibuprofen for pain and inflammation, ice application. And the last is activity modification to reduce prolonged standing or high impact activities. Next slide will be presented by Laili.
Okay, thank you, Mario. The slide I will explain about shoe modification. We can find out footwear modification can significantly elevate foot pain, particularly for conditions like hallux valgus or HV. In this case, a suitable shoe modification will be first key character for suitable footwear include accurate leg, a wide toe box, a cushioned sole, and a lower heel, which help distribute weight evenly and reduce stress on the metatarsal head. Second, athletic shoes with rocker bottom soles may over-relief by promoting a natural gait. Okay, next slide. Two or four-foot design. In this case, there are two four-foot design that can be a solution. Toe speeder and valgus plane. Toe speeder can help separate the big toe to elevate bunion pain. Tough custom fitting may be necessary for effectiveness. Second, valgus plane can aid in toe alignment while bunion shield provide cushioning to reduce friction. In this clinical picture, a patient with a custom-made toe speeder that separates the big toe from the second ray and decrease pain caused by the bunion. Okay, foot orthotics or orthotic goals. Two, effectiveness of foot orthotics and pronation control. Where is the first point that explain? Studies have yielded mixed results regarding the effectiveness of foot orthotics in the treating or preventing HV or hallux valgus. Some suggest they can help prevent progression of the deformity, while others note limited structural improvement. Where is the second point that explain? Foot orthotics are designed to control pronation, potentially reducing the abnormal force acting on the first ray and the first metatarsal phalangeal joint, which may help manage SV or hallux valgus. The next slide will be presented by Saskia.
Okay. Thank you, Lily, for the opportunity. And the last one is the conclusion. The effectiveness of orthotic insole in preventing or reducing hallux valgus remain inconsistent. One key issue is excessive subtalar pronation, which destabilize the big toe during walking. Orthotics might help by correcting foot posture, reducing pressure on the joint, and the improving balance. Some studies suggest that orthotics relieve symptoms and slow hallux valgus progression, but only a few show significant structural correction. The orthotics might also help maintain alignment after surgery. However, more research is needed to confirm the long-term effectiveness. Alright, this is the presentation from Group 1. Thank you. And Ayu Ting Ting makan kepiting. Thank you for everything. Hidup sendiri tanpa kekasih. Cukup sekian dan terima kasih. Kami dari kelompok 1 pamit undur diri. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.